What's up, everyone? Welcome to this coffee talk this morning. What is today? Today is Tuesday. It is May 12th, and we are going to be, we're going to be talking about something pretty cool today, about how to be transparent in your business, heck, in your life, and how it can really give you a lot of benefits. And there's also another coffee talk I'm going to be doing, I think it's tomorrow. And we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about some of these areas where we can do this. For those of you that are just coming on, good morning. Welcome. I'm going to let you guys get situated. I have my coffee in hand. Hopefully you guys have your coffee in hand, or tea, or juice of choice, or whatever you're drinking this morning. I did want to say I really appreciate everyone, all of the positive feedback on the rebrand of the podcast. Really glad that we're out there. We're out in the open, and it's been a long time coming, and it feels really good. And a lot of the feedback has just been really positive. So I'm going to share with you guys also what we're doing as a celebration for the podcast relaunch. And I'm going to share something with you, and you guys are going to see it first here today. Yeah, another first for seeing things that we're working on behind the scenes. And you guys will have the opportunity before anyone else to be able to join in on this little bit of a celebration. So just wanted to say again, I appreciate each and every one of you that are showing up here live, taking a little bit of time out of your day. And hopefully we can add a little bit of inspiration, motivation, and some take action, a little take action part of your life, so you can get out there and actually do something that's going to make an impact on your life or your business. So really excited that you're here. And I just want to say hello, everyone over there on Instagram. Again, I am broadcasting through a tool that allows me to broadcast on YouTube and on Facebook. Instagram is just kind of off on the side here on my phone. So guys, do me a quick favor though. If this is your first time joining me, let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And then that way there, I can see if we have any fresh faces here today. The other thing is, if you are a Take Action crew member, we call ourselves the Take Action crew because that's what we're doing here. We're going to get fired up and get out there and make something happen. But we are calling this the Take Action Morning Show now too. And this is, what is this? This is session, my notes are correct here, 48. This is session 48. And yesterday we talked about moving the needle, and we went through a whole exercise on how to do that. So if you missed that, you might want to go check that out. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. And this will be done after the live stream, of course. So make sure that you go watch that one. That one there was really good. Got a lot of great feedback. And really the whole gist on that is how to get massive results in your business and life by focusing on the things that already have movement, the things that are already somewhat working. And then we can really kind of hone in on that. So let me just go ahead and see who's in the house here today. We've got Karen as usual. What's up, Karen? Cheers. Happy Tuesday to you, Karen. Beautiful day in Michigan. No snow. It's always a good day if there's no snow, in my opinion. Anyway, let's see here. Kate, good morning to you as well. Justin, all the way from Australia. What's up, my man? James back in the house. James is becoming part of the Take Action crew. He's becoming a regular. How's that video going on Hell's Bells that you were supposed to be making for me, James? Did you make it yet? Because one of these episodes on the Friday jam session, I want to play that. I want to at least attempt to play that. So we'll be doing that on the Friday jam sessions, maybe. What's up, Mike? Let's do it. Smiley's in the house. I love it. Love it. Make me smile every time. Hey, Scott, I sent you my redesign of your podcast cover via Facebook. Did you take a look? You know what? It's funny. On Facebook, I don't always get my messages because I have like 3 different areas. I'll look for that again. You can always send me that in an email too. Scott@brandcreators.com. Brand new URL now, or email address. So you can send it at scott@brandcreators.com. Mike says, I'm armed with my father's Irish passion and my mother's German intensity. I love it. Yeah, as Germans, though, we are pretty intense, aren't we? Good morning, Scott. Rebecca here. What is up, Rebecca? How are you doing this morning? Glad to see you back. Deborah's in the house. Good morning. Salama, good morning to you. Aaron, let's see. Good morning to you as well. Jennifer, Triple J is here. I love that. Awesome. All right, cool. So if you guys are watching this, like I said, if you're watching this on Facebook, do me a favor, share it with someone. Share it with someone that you think that would get value from hanging out with us in the morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're coming back at you every single morning. Right now, we're doing it 7 days a week. That's right, 7 days a week. Danielle just popping in. What's up from, that's Mel, from Australia as well. And then Mel coming in. What's up? What's up? Good morning. So, okay, cool. So, like I said, we kind of got that stuff out of the way. Yesterday was a big day because you guys know I announced the relaunch of the podcast, and all we really did, the content is pretty much the same. We tweaked a little bit. That episode has been getting a lot of great feedback. If you missed that episode, you're going to want to go ahead and listen to that. And right now you can go to brandcreators.com and you can actually navigate the website. It's up and running. Now there might be some things broken here and there. We're still kind of tweaking that stuff, but there's a whole section there for just the podcast, and everything is there for you. So we're constantly going to be in there and improving. But the episode from yesterday was really, really good. It was stripped down. There was no intro. There was no outro. It was just me in there and really explaining the decision to do this. And really the idea of me sharing it with you is I wanted to share it with you because I think it's important that we understand that whatever we're doing right now is leading us to where we're going, right? It doesn't mean that what we're working on necessarily will be that thing that we're ultimately going to be achieving. Because I think once you get to a certain place or a certain level, there's always going to be something else. Last night, I watched the recording of Last Dance, the Michael Jordan story. And after his father passed away, which I didn't even know that story, that his father was murdered. I had no idea. And then, so when I heard that, and then after that happened, he decided to retire. And he decided to retire for a bunch of different reasons. But one of the reasons was because that was the last time that his father ever seen him play. And he wanted that to be the last time. He didn't want to go on there without his father. So what does he do? He went out there and he started playing baseball because he's like, you know what? I already did this. I already did that. It's like not even a challenge anymore. What can I do that's going to challenge me? Try to become a Major League Baseball player, right? So he would have never thought that when he was maybe 17, 18 years old, right? That, oh, I want to be the best basketball player of all time. And I'll be so happy when I get there and everything will be perfect. He got there. Everything wasn't perfect, by the way. He didn't like all the attention. He kind of wanted to go backwards a little bit to have a little bit more privacy. But then after that too, he's like, okay, well, I already did this. What else can I do? And so he said, well, let me try to be a Major League Baseball player. And then he came back after retirement. So obviously we know the rest of that story. My point is this: just because you think you want to go here and you think that everything will be exactly as you imagined or everything that you want it to be, you'll probably achieve that. You'll learn a whole bunch in that, in that journey. But then from there, you're also probably going to be like, okay, what's next for me? What's lighting me up now? And that's how you're going to grow and evolve. So this podcast switch, this name change, it's really just the, the way that I'm evolving and kind of going towards that direction that I want to go now. 5 years ago, I had no idea that that's where I was going, right? You guys hear me talk a lot about the book I wrote last year, which I never thought that I would ever put out a book. Actually wrote this book, and it has a lot to do with those take action moments. That's what I call them. And right now, yesterday was a big take action moment that I will never forget because it's going to be part of my history, but also part of that one thing that I did and that led me to where I want to go and where I need to go. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to share all of that with you guys. All right. So, all right, cool. So let me just share my thoughts. Then I'm going to share with you too. Stick around because I'm going to share something that you can participate in, and it's free. But I want to give you guys the first look at it. I want you guys to check it out, and I also want you guys to be able to have the first chance to go through this. All right. So I'll be sharing that here at the towards the end here of our little session together. So okay. So today, what I'm talking about is the transparent formula. All right. How being real, okay, leads to more traffic and sales. All right. So what do I mean by that? Well, using what I did yesterday and even leading up to this, and even me being here with you right now, this is real. This is raw, right? This is who I am. There is no like pretending. Like this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm doing. Now, if you're in a faceless brand, we talked about that in past coffee talks too. That was a big topic. We talked about how do you do that type of stuff in a faceless brand. If you have a faceless brand, let's just use that for an example. If you do have a faceless brand, you still can inject transparency in business. What do I mean by that? You should always have a voice of some kind in a brand that is your mission, right? What is, like, if let's just use bass fishing, right? If I was going to go down the bass, and we can go a whole bunch of different angles with bass fishing. Well, let's say that I wanted to get into bass fishing because I wanted to enjoy more time with my father or with my son. I wanted it to be, how do we get away? How do we get rid of the devices for a day and just go shut down and just reboot, right? Well, maybe fishing is that outlet. And there's a lot of people out there that would want to do that. Or maybe they loved fishing years ago, but they haven't gone fishing because they're now just busy, right? They're busy being busy, right? They're finding things, especially with, online, they're finding things to really occupy their time, and they're forgetting about that passion of fishing. They're forgetting about the joy they had throwing the line in the water, right? So maybe the angle I'm going to come at, whether I'm a face or not, is I'm going to share that. And I'm going to share it through either email. I'm going to share it through maybe Facebook posts or maybe Instagram or wherever I am producing content, YouTube. I'm going to be taking that and making the company transparent on the values and why they are in business. So many people say, Scott, I want to sell the best fishing rod out there. I want to be known for the best fishing rod. If you sell the best fishing rod and I sell a mediocre fishing rod, still does a pretty good job, but I have a better story and a relationship with the market, I can bet you I will probably do better than you. Okay. And that's because people, they really buy into the story. Let's take American Idol for a minute here. There's some singers that are in there that are staying in because of their story, not necessarily because they're the best singer. Okay. Because they have a great story, right? So everyone loves a story. You need to create a story for your brand. Now, it doesn't have to be a sappy story. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I was down in the dumps and now here I am doing great. You have to have a story of some kind, or a mission or a value that you stand for. If you have a cause that you stand for, let that shine through. The more transparent you can be with your market, the better you will do. Okay. So just like this right here, like I am sharing with you the journey of me going down this road of, having a podcast, doing really well with the podcast. The market kind of shifted. I kind of shifted, wasn't feeling 100% congruent. So I said, I need to be lit up. Like Scott needs to be lit up in order to serve people, right? And to help people at the level I want to help. So how do you do that? Well, you got to make sure that your messaging is right. You got to make sure that what you're doing. And one of the things for me was when I would say the amazing seller, I would instantly be reminded it's, a lot of times it was Amazon, right? Amazon. I wanted to detach from that. Okay. And so because of that, now I've changed the name, still there, still the same podcast feed. It's just been rebranded. Okay. That is it. Now, I feel that it's going to be better moving forward because I'm going to have these amazing guests come on and share their stories on how they have built a really rock solid brand. And that's my goal, and to learn from these people. So what better way for me to be able to interview people on a weekly basis, people that I admire, people that I want to learn their stories, and then from there be able to pick their brain my way. And then hopefully you get value from that, right? And you will. Right. And then being able to teach still on the podcast, and then have these Friday jam sessions, which, by the way, if you are tuning in for the first time, what we do here on these coffee talk sessions, on these take action morning shows, what we do on Fridays is we turn that into a full-blown jam session. And what I mean by that is a Q&A jam session. It's where you guys are going to come on, and we've already done a couple of these, and you can ask any question that you want. And then from there, I will give you the best advice that I can, or my thoughts or my feedback, because sometimes you just need a little bit of feedback. Those are going to be for what we're calling the Friday Jam Session, and they will air on the podcast as well, right? But the more transparent you can be about your decisions in your business. I don't care if you're a brick and mortar business, okay? Like in our construction business years ago, we always used the story that we were a family operated business, and people loved it because they loved to support local family businesses. Okay. I know we did better than Sears, okay, that was selling windows. We were doing better because we were a locally family run business. Okay. That is why we did really good. Did we have a better product? Not necessarily. We could have sold the same product. We had a better story, right? Yes, I feel we had better workmanship because we really took pride in our work. We didn't just hire subcontractors, but our story was always, we are the brand. Okay. You're going to get someone that is in our family that we trust or that we hired and we consider part of our family, right? So anytime that you can incorporate transparency in your business, it will thrive. Okay. So if you're writing email, inject that into the emails. Tell people a little bit about your brand and why you do what you do. Okay. It's important, and you should have that on your website as well. All right. So I really just wanted to use me as an example this week because Monday I was being transparent with you guys. I was being vulnerable. I was letting you guys know exactly my struggles, my sticking points, all of that stuff, because I want you guys to realize it's not all perfect and it's not all beautiful, right? We start going down, we start going down the road where we look at people and we compare ourselves to people and we're like, oh, everything's perfect for them. Look at their Instagram. It's perfect. There's never a hair out of place, right? Or in my case, you know, there really isn't a hair out of place because it's so darn short and I like it that way. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like you look at someone and you're admiring them from afar, but you're not in their day to day, right? We need to realize that the people we're doing business with, we don't want to know that they're like, you know, that they're not doing well. Of course, we want them to be doing well, but we also want to know that they have those days too, right? Or they have those struggles, or they are doing it because they had a struggle and now they're trying to be the answer to the market because it's not out there, right? So just try to think to yourself, even today, how does your business allow people to see inside of the business, behind the scenes? I'll give you a great example of this. I'm going to give a shout out to my good buddy, Dave Manley, who brought it really like high energy. He brought it. He brought the fire, right? He brought that power chord on the guitar. He smoked it when he came on the podcast, because recently, last year, we had a conversation on the podcast and he wasn't being transparent enough. And so what he started doing, now Dave sells MMA bobbleheads. He makes these specialized bobbleheads. Now they're not like a bobblehead that you see the head bouncing all over the place. These are like works of art. Okay. And actually, let me give him a little shout out here. Let me show you one. So check this out. So this here, it's Jorge Masvidal. I think that's how you pronounce him. But check that out. Right? Check that out. I don't want it to get out of focus there for you, but look at that thing. So see the head? It moves a little bit, but man, the braiding on all of that, the muscle, like in here, like the gloves, the beard, and then the stand was made so it doesn't break in shipping. He said that was a whole process, but what an amazing piece of work, a piece of art, really. And so this right here, to me, like, you got to show that, right? Like, you got to show behind the scenes of how that's being created, because this is a long process. There's airbrushing, there's molding, there's shaping, there's the eyes, everything, right? So once he started to show behind the scenes of how they were being created, and then also that he's a diehard fan. So now he's getting invited backstage. Come on with me. I'm Dave. We're going to go on inside, right? Once he did that, boom, business soared. All right. And it is just right now, it is crushing it. And it's only going to get bigger because he's embracing the transparency. He's in his garage packing them up and showing like a new one that came in the first run, and he, you know, showing it that it's when it's being airbrushed and what that looks like. Or he's sitting down with the fighter and they're autographing 100 of these or a couple hundred of these. He's sitting down with them. all of that stuff is part of the transparency. And when he did that, boom, off to the races, baby. Off to the races. So that's what he's been doing. And again, it's just another example of transparency and how it can really, really grow your business. And it's a lot of fun doing it that way too, right? So something to consider, all right? And let me ask you guys this, and drop it in the comments. Are you being transparent in your business? And that just means, are you sharing more than just a product that you sell or just a how-to article? Are you sharing a little bit more of your story or the brand's story? So let me ask you, and let me get an answer there in the comments. And let me go to the comments here and see what we got going on. Okay, James. James says, I did make the video, did not go well, LOL. I used 3 different cameras to record. None of them have worked, LOL. So I figured out what happened. Everything will be up and running tomorrow. Good. I'm looking forward to it. And here's the deal. You don't need 3 cameras, man. Set up your iPhone on a tripod or whatever you're using for a phone, hit record and do it. Like, I don't need all those different angles. I know what you're doing. You're trying to model other guys that have like a camera on their hand that's picking, the one that's on the cord, and then on them at a full distance. Don't need it right now. When you need is simplicity, and you need to show up and take action. All right. So yeah, don't overcomplicate it, James. I personally love your brand logo. And if it sparks you joy, as Marie, is it Marie or Mary? Marie, no. Kondo says, and it reflects your personality or personally, keep it as is. No offense to anyone. Thank you, Rebecca. What are some strategies you use initially to get people to say yes to you to be interviewed on your podcast? That's a good question. I like that question. That could be a jam session question, but I'll answer it here. So what are some strategies you use to initially get people to say yes to you? So you mean me asking to be on other people's podcasts or for me to get guests? So I think it's to say yes to you to be interviewed on my podcast. For me, in the very beginning, and even to this day, it's always about the story. The story that I want to share with my audience, and can I relate that to a lesson that they can use? If they can use a lesson, then I'm all for it. Now, with this whole new rebrand, it's opening me up to be able to talk to a wider range of brand owners, okay? And that's really a lot of fun for me. So I'll give you an example. There's 2 expert interviews that are coming up soon, okay? One of them is by a guy named Colin, and he runs a very large basketball training online platform, okay? And I'm not going to give it away because I don't want to spoil the podcast episode when it airs, but it'll be on a Wednesday episode because all the interviews are going to be on Wednesdays now. And he grew an Instagram, Instagram channel is about 70-some thousand, but then the YouTube channel is over 900,000. And that has went on to launch a pretty major TV network platform for not just basketball players, but for athletes. And he was a teacher for, I think, 5 or 6 years. That's the stories I'm looking for, right? So now I can be a little bit pickier on who I want to have come on, right? But I could, but I wouldn't have shared that 3 years ago because it wasn't related to selling physical products. But now it doesn't matter because I'm about building brands, and building brands means getting attention. And you can get attention by having a YouTube channel, by having an Instagram channel, by having an email list, by building blog content, all of that stuff, Pinterest, whatever, right? So now I'm not limited that I can only have those people on if it serves the e-commerce market, right? No more of that. Doesn't have to be that way for me. So that's another reason why I wanted to make this switch. So anyway, hopefully that helped. For a faceless brand, is it your story or brand face's story? It should be the brand in itself. The brand in itself. So the brand, what does it stand for? What is the mission? Mike, we explain details about why we do what we do and the effort that goes into every single product. That's why we have such a loyal clientele. Yeah, it works, right? It totally Totally works. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. Ashley, we have our story in our about section, but have mostly kept recipes and things without much of a story. Start incorporating those stories, Ashley. And if you have an email list, start sprinkling them in there. Okay. You don't have to say that's the other thing. People sometimes go on too much about their story. You can sprinkle it in there, right? And you can even just sprinkling in how you are going about your day or day-to-day operations or life or whatever could also incorporate it in there. Like if you're in bass fishing and you're telling people that you're going to go with your son on the weekend to drop the line in the water, they know that you're into fishing. They know you know a lot about fishing, but they also know that you're a family man or woman, right? And that you're spending time with your family. That means a lot. So those are your values. That is, and so you created this website to help serve people that want to, number one, catch fish and have fun and enjoy themselves, but also probably people that want to spend more time with their kids or their family, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about there. Jennifer, Kate and I were talking yesterday about really telling our stories to help people relate to our topics. Yes. Let me say that again. Yes. Share your story. Please share your story. That they get to go to be okay because we are nuts. That's fine. The funny thing is if you are a little nuts in a good way, right? I mean, I think we're playing with that, right? If you are, that could be an advantage because people are also drawn to personality, right? So people that are showing up here are drawn to my personality and the way that I am, right? So some people will be repelled by that, right? We will be like, I don't like that type. I want to be more, I don't know. I want to be more technical, or I want to, that's fine. It's not me. This isn't your group, right? So it's okay to repel people, but attract the right people. And that's really what matters. Karen was so busy writing blogs and was not going on Facebook and doing lives and videos to post. I had to write less because my market likes the videos and Facebook lives. That's fine. I think that's totally fine. So let's see here. Salama, do you think transparency works better in some niches more than others, or equally in all? I think it can depend. Again, depending on if it's just a product-based business, but you got to try to figure out how to create, how should I say this? A humanness to the business. Because when you sell just a product, it's just a product. Okay. So you need to humanize the business. And by doing that, you do that through story. So it would depend. And if you gave an example, we could probably dig into that at another time. All right, guys. So let me do this for you. All right. And actually I should have did this beforehand. Hold on one second. You know what? You can see that on camera. Let me put him off there. Dave Manley will love that. Let me put this way in the back here. There he is. He'll be watching in on us. Check that out. Put that over there. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to share with you guys something that you guys can participate in, something also we're doing as a celebration for the rebrand of the podcast, which is now called Rock Your Brand Podcast. I just love saying that too. It just sounds good to me. So let me share with you, and I'll also explain why we are doing this, and you can learn from it, hopefully, but you can also participate. All right. So let me go ahead and put that up on the screen. So there it is. All right. So what we're doing here is we are going to have a giveaway. You guys hear me talk a lot about giveaways, right? If you haven't, well, you probably will in the future. I talk a lot about building your email list and also by getting attention in your market by having giveaways. That's what I'm doing here. All right. So why am I doing this? Well, first off, because I want to give back to our community. I also want to bring awareness to what is happening. All right. So what better way than to do a giveaway, right? So here's the plan. I'll give you guys the behind the scenes of what this looks like. So basically what I'm doing is I'm giving away, okay, a full year to Brand Creators Academy, okay, which is a $1,100 and I believe it's $88. It's $99 a month. It's $1,188 value. So you get 1 year. Okay. One winner is going to receive a year annual subscription to Brand Creators Academy, which isn't open at the time. We don't open it. Let's see. We open it about 4 times a year. We won't open again until I think we settled on first week in July. So it's going to be a couple months. So We're going to offer that right now. So that is one thing. The second thing is I'm going to give someone a 30-minute coaching call with me. Okay. And that's a $500 value because if I do any one-on-one, it's at least $1,000 an hour. And then three, Brand Accelerator Live event from last year is all the recordings. So you get 2 days worth of recordings, which right now is $299, and you get that included as well. So the prize is worth $2,087. We're going to give that away to one winner. We're going to run this for 30 days. So you see how it says 30 days, 1 hour, 30 minutes? That's because I set this up yesterday and we weren't going to announce it until tomorrow, but you guys are getting it first. All right. So I just wanted to let you guys see this. So you might want to know, like, how do you see this page? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me go ahead and I'm going to create this on the fly here. And let's see if I can do this. All right. And I have a domain name that is this right here, rockyourbrandpodcast.com. So right now for the next 30 days, that URL is going to go to this page where you can enter to win that bundle. Now, here's the cool thing. All right. This is where I want you guys to pay attention. Okay. So the one reason I'm doing this, because I want people to raise their hand that are interested in building a brand. And I also want to bring awareness to the podcast that it is rebranded, and I want you to go listen to it. Okay. So that's number one. I want all of that, right? So number two, I also want people to help me spread the word. Well, how would I do that? Well, after you actually sign up here and you put your name and your email address in and you hit enter to win, on the next page, you're going to have more options to get more entries. So you're going to have an incentive to follow me on Instagram. You'll get more entries. Subscribe to YouTube. You'll get more entries. Okay. So there's multiple ways now. You can share it with someone. And if they sign up, or I think it's 3 people that sign up under you, you'll get another few entries, right? So there's a way for us to incentivize people sharing this, and then you get more entries. We're also using a plugin that we built with Chris Guthrie. It's called Giveaway Boost. So again, we drink our own Kool-Aid, if you will. So we built this because we wanted it for ourselves, and we use it in multiple industries, multiple markets. And it took me like less than probably 30 minutes to set this up. It took longer to figure out what images to put in there. And now it's running. So now if you go to rockyourbrandpodcast.com, you should be able to enter. And if you can't, let me know. For some reason, if it doesn't work, it should work. But basically what we're doing here is we're doing this to bring awareness to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let everyone know over the next 30 days. I'm even going to probably run some Facebook ads to our targeted market, the people that have already showed interest in the podcast in the past. So we talk a lot about, like, okay, you want to build these custom audiences in Facebook? Well, this is why. Because people that have watched either a coffee talk or that have watched a video that I've done in the past, a Facebook Live, they are part of the custom audience because I know that they're interested. So I'm only putting this in front of people that are interested. Okay. So again, when we're talking about like how to do this stuff in your own business, we've done this in other brands that are not in the like how to start a business. It's really into how to catch more bass type market, right? Bass fishing. We can do the same type of contest giveaway. We did this in a market right now, and we share it inside of Brand Creators Academy. We built a list of over 9,332 emails in 30 days. Okay. By using this exact strategy, right? It's just give away value to the market, honest, genuine, and just really good value, and give them something that they want. And then as they raise their hand, we know that there are people, right? So then in the future, if people enter this, what do you think that I'm going to be talking about? How to build a brand. I'm probably going to let them know about our coffee talks. I'll probably let them know about a new podcast that comes out about brand building. I'll probably let them know when Brand Creators Academy opens up again. I'll probably let them know about the Take Action Effect book. I'll probably let them know about the Brand Creators Playbook, right? I'll probably let them know about our free brand growth validation checklist. All of that stuff, right? Because I know that they're the right people. So we have to throw the line in the water, right? In the right water, in the right pond, lake, whatever you want to say, with the right bait. In this case, this is what we're doing. It's the exact same thing that we teach, guys. It's the exact same thing. So again, if you're interested in throwing your name in the hat and then sharing it with us, we would love that. Just go to rockyourbrandpodcast.com and it should direct you to this page that you see here right now. All right. So guys, do you have any quick questions for me before we wrap up today? We're a little bit over my 30-minute mark. We always go over the 30-minute. Let's see here. Justin, might be worth spending something crafting and creating about us page telling your brand story. Yes, absolutely. And funny thing is, Justin, that you bring that up, I actually took my about us page down on brand creators temporarily because I need to rework it. Right. My story has changed. Right. So I'm going to be, that's actually next week's project. I'm going to be working on getting that back up and running. But a lot of people already know because of the podcast. Right. But I still want that piece on the website. And you're absolutely right. Rebecca, I shared my mission story in my about page, but never thought of doing it on a consistent basis since I'm still uncomfortable on camera. I could do that on Pinterest or Instagram. Yeah, you could. Totally. And if you're a little, little shy or a little reluctant to do video, I'm telling you, just small little action steps there. Do a little bit here and there. You can practice on video. Don't publish it if you don't want to. Do a Facebook Live, and after you get done, if you want, if you don't like it, delete it. You just got to kind of get in that rhythm, and I believe it'll be easier. And if you can show up on video, I'm telling you, it's the next level, because then people can actually hear the inflection in your voice. They can see your excitement. They can see your energy and all that stuff. And guys, you know what? I'm going to do that on an upcoming coffee talk. My wife and I were just talking about this yesterday. It's a big problem for people to get on video. They freeze up, or they don't know if they're going to sound right, or they don't know if they're going to look right, or whatever. I'm going to do a little bit of content around that because I think I can help you with that. I don't think it's as hard as you might be making it out. And we got to do baby steps. If you guys would be interested in that, drop that in the comments as well. Say, yes, Scott, video training, something like that. Just let me know that would be beneficial to you, and I'll consider doing it. All right. Again, if there's anything you want me to discuss on an upcoming coffee talk, make sure that you drop that in the comments below. And that's what I will do. I will look at those comments. Plus, my YouTube guy, my good friend, Jimmy the Shark, will be paying attention to that as well. And I probably should mention also, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. But also, you can find the playlist by going right here to all the past coffee talks and our Take Action Morning Crew. So make sure you go there if you're on YouTube. All right. So, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap up this session of our coffee talk. Tomorrow, I've got something already mapped out that I want to talk about. And tomorrow, here's what we're going to be talking about. The Carpenter. Hidden marketing formula that creates buzz and endless business. That's all I'm going to say. The Carpenter. Hidden marketing formula that creates buzz and endless business. And I absolutely love this formula. I love what it stands for, and I think you will too. So stick around for tomorrow's coffee talk and show up. And that's what we're going to be diving into, and super excited to really share that with you guys. All right. So guys, if you have any other questions, like I said, though, for any upcoming jam sessions that we're going to be doing here on Friday, make sure you drop them in the comments. And I will always look back at those. But we are going to be doing another jam session this Friday. So mark your calendars, put your notifications on for this coffee talk, 10 a.m. Eastern time daily. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right. So as always, guys, take care, take action, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.